Mairlyn Smith, everyone. She's worked hard for you. Yay! I love that you did this, honey.
Oh my gosh, you know, it seemed like such a good idea in my head.
Right.
And then yesterday was like, what have I done? Anyway, so yeah,
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work prepping it. I mean, it wouldn't be if you did it in the moment, but to do 7 all at once.
It's a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. But what's great about this is that, you know, we talk a lot about wasting food, not wasting food.
Yes.
We talk a lot about the fact that you've been living out of your freezer, which I love, like just cooking from your freezer. So this way, if you plan, you're going to be a lot better about saving, using good leftovers, planning for those leftovers, and not wasting your money or wasting your food.
Totally. And this is kind of like, well, this is actually how I eat. And I thought, well, you know, let's just kind of visit my house and see what I do.
Yes.
Okay, so Sunday night, let's start with Sunday. I believe in the Sunday night dinner.
Okay.
Sit down dinner. And whatever's on sale that week. So if there's a roast on sale, I buy the roast. If it's a chicken or if it's a pork, whatever.
Yes.
So I cook one great big one.
Okay.
All right, so there's my roast. And then I plan ahead to do extra potatoes. And this week, the potatoes were on sale, so I bought a huge Mother 10-pound bag.
Good stuff.
And so like maybe next week I'm going to make potato salad or something else with it, okay? So I plan ahead.
And you cook a whole bunch of them, like you cook like a double batch.
I do double batch on purpose, okay?
Okay.
And then I've got sandwich meat for Monday because I'm not a big fan of deli meat. There's too much nitrates, really bad for sodium, and so I'm really a big advocate of, you know, using your leftover chicken, using your leftover roast beef.
It's
so
the only way to do it now,
it really
because I can't. There's nothing I can put in my kids' lunch anymore. I'm going to send them to school with ice cubes. Like there's nothing.
At least
if you, that's right. At least if you've got this, you can cut this out. You can still give them a sandwich.
You can totally do that, and that should last for a couple more days. And this is for a family of 4 too.
Okay.
Okay. So Monday rolls around, and I always do vegetarian or plant-based. I'm a big, you know, bean pulse person.
Yeah.
So I make a big Mother something or other with beans, and this is a chipotle chili, and I'm going to make that in the next segment.
Okay.
And it's a big batch because I'm going to have leftovers, and then I do my coleslaw, which I've done on the show numerous times. I'm a big, you know, eat in the season. I'm not buying lettuce right now. I'm buying cabbagey things. Okay.
Okay.
So then we go to Monday, Tuesday.
So we've done Sunday. We used our roast beef for Sunday for Monday's lunch. Now we go over to Tuesday. What do we make?
Okay, so frittata, which is another word for use everything in your house and make it with eggs.
I agree.
You know, is a genius idea. I used to call it peasant dinner before I knew there was a name.
Right.
I was like, I made something up. No, you didn't. You're an idiot. Anyway, so yeah. So what do you think?
It's a healthy peasant dinner.
It is.
I love a frittata.
Oh my gosh, I do too.
Or dinner.
It can be anything. Or lunch. It can be, and you can use the leftovers for something else, which we'll do. Now, this rosemary, I just wanted to talk about it because it looks really pathetic, but it came out of my garden, and apparently when it freezes and then you let it dry, it's very crunchy. I really like it. So yeah, that's my rosemary.
And you put it in there?
I put it in there.
Okay.
So I used the potatoes, I did some shallots, I cut up some beef, and did a whole bunch of eggs, and I used the omega-3 to get the omega-3 fatty acids.
Nice.
And then for that lunch, I'm going to get fish because we all need omega-3 fatty acids in our diet.
Right.
And I have salmon twice a week.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's a sockeye salmon in a roll, in a wrap, and I use the leftover coleslaw instead of a lettuce.
Oh, smart. So you just use the canned salmon for that.
Oh my gosh,
all right.
I was raised on canned salmon.
Yeah, well, so was I.
Well, there you go. That's why my sandwiches. Okay, there you go.
So let's move on to Thursday now.
No, Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
Wednesday.
So then I use the leftover chili and either make a quesadilla or jacket potatoes. And I've done this on the show before.
Is that potato or bread?
That's a potato.
Oh,
so you can use a sweet potato or a regular potato, but they were on sale. So I'm going to use the regular potatoes. And then you can augment it. You can put a whole bunch of stuff on it like cheese or whatever, but I just wanted you to see that I did that.
This is how it starts.
And then this is one of the few things that I buy that's ready-made in a grocery store. So I do that kind of a Brussels sprout kale salad.
I love it.
But I think there's too much dressing, so I always cut it with apple cider vinegar. This is a Canadian one. I'm really proud of them for making that for Canadians. So that's dinner there.
Okay.
And people are going to go, oh my gosh, that's not big portions. That's the portion size you're supposed to eat.
Yeah, that's
FYI.
actually not.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad once you get through to the end of it. You're like,
you're
kind of full.
Oh no, you're full.
Right?
And then I'll use the leftover frittata to go into a wrap for the lunch to pack your lunch.
Nice.
Okay.
That's another good lunch idea.
Oh, I love that. I love using leftover frittatas.
That's smart.
Okay, now the next day is salmon cake. So there's my second salmon, omega-3s.
Yes.
And this is a recipe out of Homegrown. It's so easy. It's so family friendly.
Yes.
It is so yum. And I'm a snob. I use sockeye instead of pink, but you can use pink if you want. And then there's a tartar sauce, and then we use the leftover kale salad with a can of chickpeas.
Nice.
The irresistible ones from Metro have no salt. I'm a big fan of that.
Okay. That's
and
so
then,
easy though, and that's a really good meal. You get your protein in that and your veggies.
And you're getting, and I wanted to get 1, 2, 3 dinners a week. Well, 4 for vegetarian, for heart health. Okay.
Smart.
And then the next one is Friday night, and Friday night I think is easy night. So it's just pasta.
Yeah.
And you know, look for either a pasta that's got a pulse in it, which is what my favorite thing to do is. And then I've also got like a jarred glass tomato sauce. When you're buying a tomato sauce, if it's in a glass jar, there's usually less stuff in it, so it's a better choice. And it's okay to buy it. You know, I mean, like I always think people go, don't you make everything from scratch? No, I
one's
don't.
got time for that.
No, they don't. But the hummus, and the hummus is from, I did the hummus a couple of weeks ago on the show. That's from Homegrown as well. And then that's my packable lunch, hummus and a whole bunch of veggies. And then for I was raised on hamburgers on Saturday.
I love hamburgers.
Burger, it's called Hockey Night in Canada. We have hamburger night. I've done it before, right? So there's a hamburger, and I use the leftover kale salad instead of lettuce and my homemade pickles. And I would have made sweet potato fries if I hadn't wanted to lose my will for living at around 9 o'clock last night when I decided I was finished.
Anyway, like, I'm done, okay, with the 7-day meal plan.
So there you go. Now, it worked out to be about $160 for 4 people, but that's including all the fruit that I didn't bring. And there was no milk or cereal in there. I didn't show breakfast.
That's true.
And it works out to be about $2 a meal, $1.60 a serving. So I thought that was kind of on board. It might be a bit higher end, but I did use salmon and roast beef and all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty good, though. And you put in some good quality nutrients and products in there, so I like that. Yeah, I mean, some people are not going to go get the omega-3 eggs, right?
And it's okay if you don't.
Which is fine.
As long as you're having salmon.
You do what you can afford. We're putting all of this on our website, cityline.ca, so follow it. And I'm the sort of person, I would follow this for a month. I would do your 7 days, then repeat your 7 days.
Really? Okay, cool. Well, then I'm going to say change up for the chicken. Okay.
Okay, fine. Fine then.
Yes.
So we started by talking about a 7-day week plan, which I think is really useful for a lot of our viewers. We're going to make a couple of those recipes right now.
Right. Okay, so the first thing, we're going to make chili. Okay, and I make a meatless chili because I like to kind of embrace the whole... the whole gas thing, whatever. Anyway, so...
is that why you do it?
Yeah, no, I'm just teasing. But, you know, I think the reason that people don't eat a lot of beans is because they're afraid they're going to toot. Yeah. And you know what? The more you eat, the less you toot.
So the song is wrong.
A guy wrote it. He was totally wrong. It's like beans, the more you eat, the less you toot.
The less you toot because your system probably gets used to it. Is that why?
It's exactly.
Okay.
And the other thing is that... eat more. And it's a prebiotic. So you were talking about probiotics.
Right.
I'm feeding that good bacteria by having beans.
Good stuff.
So it's all good. Okay.
Okay, great.
So the recipe calls for a whole bunch of vegetables in there. I've already sauteed the onion, the carrot, the garlic, and a red pepper. Now, red peppers are really expensive right now.
Yes.
So I have frozen, like smoky kind of peppers roasted in my freezer.
Smart.
This is the last one. But if you could buy them in a jar as well, and it'd be more economical to do that if you were like looking for pepper until they become hothouse product of Canada.
Right.
Okay, so that's in there.
Wait
that's
until
cooking.
The price goes down. That's a really good tip as well.
Yeah, you know what? You can substitute things out. So I mean, it's getting cooked anyway. I wouldn't put this in a salad. Yeah. But you know, it's going to get cooked, so it's okay. So anyway, that's all cooking up like that, and then we're going to add corn on the frozen corn, and frozen corn is always in season, and that's a product of Canada too. You're going to add that in. It's going to give you a lot of fiber, and then we're going to add black beans because they're so good for you. Yeah. You know, they got a lot of B vitamins aside from the fiber. They're economical, and you can go from scratch and good for you, but I always do canned, and I do the no salt added. It seems redundant. I know, what is that, kind of an oxymoron? No salt added. Right. So you're not, so anyway, whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me when you say it.
You're not adding salt.
Yeah, so.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I know, it's so stupid.
We can't explain.
No, we can't.
But
anyway.
I understand. And you wash the beans out.
Rinse them really well.
Rinse them.
So rinse them until the water runs clean anyway. Yeah. But if you have sodium in the jar, in the can, you're going to get rid of at least 40% of the sodium if you run it till the water runs clean. Got it. So rinse, rinse, rinse. Okay, now we took some of the...
You mash them up.
Yeah, because it's going to thicken this, because we want this to be a really thick chili. Yeah. Because I'm also using it for that jacket potato left. Oh, that's true. Later on the week. We don't want anything gushy. Right. And this is from Homegrown, that wonderful book I wrote with the Ontario Home Economics
doing so well.
Association. I'm so happy.
It's all Canadian ingredients. I think that's awesome.
Okay, now we're going to buy... The only thing that isn't Canadian are all the spices, okay? So we're going to add paprika and chili powder and cumin. And
do you usually really spice it up? up? Because I really spice mine up to the point where the kids are like, too spicy, Mama.
Yeah, you know what? No, it's not. This is a family one, but you can add more. And then the big hot one is chipotle.
Yeah,
and the recipe calls for.
Oh man, you have 1 minute. We didn't even do the salmon cakes.
Oh my Lord! Okay,
do we do it?
No, we can't do it.
Okay,
We'll both forget it. You can go to your website. That's just tomato sauce,
go to
crushed
the
tomatoes.
website.
I'll do finger puppets. And then the salmon cake ran through it. But here's the trade-off. If you can't find the adobo, the chipotles and the adobo sauce, you can use chipotle chili powder.
Okay.
So you know, don't just because you don't have one ingredient.
Oh, I love that smell, that
Isn't
smoky
that smell
It's
wonderful?
So good.
And then there's the heart-healthy salmon cakes that we never got to.
They look pretty easy, though. I mean, look at that and mix it together and then make them.
That's a great idea.